this whole idea around answering your phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and disguising that somehow that is giving great client service is total crap. It is behavior from real estate agents that are so desperate and needy for money that their willingness to do just about anything manifesting in this mirage that they've turned into somehow some value proposition. This I am available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for you, Mr. Client, is A, not good customer service. I'm going to explain to you why. B, hurting you as the agent itself. And C, it's the recognition of bad behavior. So how is it not good customer service? Well, I want you to think about this for a second. Whose advice, whose communication do you actually value that makes any type of difference in your life? And what I mean by that is this. Like, I think the best analogy, I think the best analogy I can give you is the ability to just like call your mom whenever you feel like it. And moms are great, right? But moms are filled with unsolicited advice that may or may not be true, may or may not be helpful, may or may not be actually valuable, especially in the context of business success. Oftentimes, mom's advice probably does more to harm you than good when it comes to growing your business. I mean, the whole advice around, don't talk to strangers. Shoot, in the business of real estate sales, that's probably terrible advice. You got to talk to strangers every day. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, whose advice do you value more? That or that of an attorney who is really, really difficult to have substantial conversations with, or even a doctor? I mean, you can't just pick up the phone and call a doctor anytime you feel like it to say, hey, doc, let me just pick your brain on something. Let me just get your feedback on this thing real quick. No, when you're talking with a doctor, you are so locked in on every word that he or she is saying because of how infrequent the interaction is with the doctor that you value that information so much so. So, think about this in terms of you and your clients. And the reason why clients have absolutely no respect or boundaries for your life whatsoever is the reason why they don't value you, is the reason why they don't look at you as a trusted advisor and they look at you as a commodity. And so, furthermore, that's just the start. Is the agent who is on everyone's beck and call and is like looking at their phone 24/7. If they don't, so they're training clients that their time means nothing. They're teaching their client that you can call me day or night, it doesn't matter. There's no boundaries whatsoever. Here's the thing: if you ever don't adhere to that expectation, they automatically get pissed off. So when you don't respond within 30 seconds, or you don't pick up your phone, or you don't respond to a text message, they get mad at you. It's like, oh my gosh, how are you getting mad at me? I'm giving this person, I'm doing so much why are they? That's because they don't respect you. And you've trained them to treat you like a mule. That when I call, you answer. When I say jump, you say how high. That's how you've trained the client to treat you. And then there becomes this mutual resentment. But the whole time, you've made up this story in your head that, oh, this is just giving good client service. My clients appreciate the fact that I'm available 24/7. No. They appreciate actual solid strategy, solid advice. And here's what we know: that increased boundaries increases respect, which increases perceived value. That when you set boundaries with clients, that they respect you more, And that when you do communicate with them, when you do have planned, scheduled time to talk, that the advice that you give them, they actually listen. Because if you're just accessible all the time and you wonder why your clients never listen to you and they always want to, no, let's not do, that's because they don't respect anything you say. Because you don't value yourself, so why should they? Now, this goes even deeper than that. So now you've created this world where there are zero boundaries with your clients and you're being walked all over, and the clients actually, the thing that you thought would make them happy is the very thing that's actually pissing them off. And now you've created this Frankenstein of a business model where you've done this so many times with so many people that you can't get anything done. That the actual work that you have to do on behalf of the client doesn't get done because you're just sitting there putting out fire after fire, responding to everybody. You are just literally addicted to reacting to the world's needs, that you actually become a very low productive human. And that your results that your client actually hired you to do diminishes. So you can't even focus on the job at hand because you've created this false narrative that, I'm accessible 24/7, that in reality has just created a world where you're responding and reacting to everything all the time. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. People don't have business problems, they have personal problems that show up in their business. It's probably how you do your entire life because you're so desperate, you're so needy for money that you just simply refuse to act like a real professional. And that's why clients don't refer you business. That's why people don't value you. They don't perceive you as a trusted advisor. They look at you as a cheap commodity that they can find anywhere. And the whole time you're banging your head against the wall saying, dude, I'm doing so much for this person. You're doing so much. You're behaving in a way that no other professionals do. We talked about doctors, we talked about lawyers, but any other profession. There's no other profession on the planet that Sunday afternoon that you could just pick up the phone and just get a hold of, the bank, get a hold of the mortgage lender, because there are boundaries, but not with realtors, and that's why the perceived the perceived value is so low that you can get, all you have to say to a realtor is, hey, I'm interested in this house, and they'll drop everything. They'll leave their wedding. They'll leave their kid's birthday. It does not matter. They will leave at the drop of a dime because they have such crazy commission breath that they behave like they would never behave otherwise. But then they disguise it again as giving good client service. So the point is, you don't have to operate that way. Like, new people that get into the industry feel like, okay, that's the norm. I guess that I'm in real estate now. I have to be accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I can never take a day off. I can never take a vacation. None of that is true. Don't believe that. That is the industry's lie. That's number one. Number two, that if you believe that is actually helping the client, I've given you evidence as to how that actually hurts clients. And you should be proactive in your communication with clients. Here's the thing. If your clients are reaching out to you, asking you questions, you've already screwed up. Think about that. If your client has a question about something that is unanswered, that they are unclear about, that they are concerned about, that means that you failed to proactively communicate something that you should have, and therefore are having to reach out to you in the first place. So rather than think about, okay, how do I become so accessible? Scratch that. How do I communicate proactively such that my clients don't need me every 2 seconds? You keep saying, my client's so needy. No, you create needy clients because your lack of systems, lack of process, lack of communication, lack of proactive planning, everything's reactive, including this 24/7 BS. So we talked about how that actually diminishes the client experience, where your clients are trying to get a hold of you all the time, and it's like, man, you created that. And then lastly, we talked about how you're trying to give the best client experience so that one client turns into a lifetime of clients. But because your behavior and your neediness has done the opposite of that, you've created a perception that you are a commodity. If you don't value your time, nobody else will. And so therefore, they don't look at you as someone as part of their financial team. They don't look at you the same way they look at their attorney because of this myth of accessibility. So there's no perceived value. And therefore, clients don't come back and they don't refer you any business. So don't take this the wrong way. Don't take this as, okay, I'm going to give bad client service. I think I've made that very clear, that giving good client service is a process of being proactive, and that being accessible 24/7 is being reactive. And if you call yourself a professional, you got to start acting like it.